Hey folks, this is Kalani. In a move that apparently no one saw coming, Microsoft just announced that it has purchased Activision Blizzard in the largest gaming acquisition in history for a cool $68.7 billion. That means that Microsoft now owns all Activision studios and their franchises, including World of Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, StarCraft, Candy Crush, Call of Duty, and many others. Once the transition is finalized, all Activision Blizzard studios will report directly to the Executive Vice President of Gaming at Microsoft. So what could this mean for Blizzard and some of our favorite franchises, games, and worlds? Well, if Microsoft thinks the whole package of Activision is worth $69 billion, that's a lot of money. They're probably going to want to protect and grow that investment. They also seem to have a good chunk of change to throw around, so we could see more resources being pumped into the Activision studios, which would include Blizzard. One of the major problems that cropped up time and time again with Blizzard is budget cuts, being told to deliver a product or game as quickly as possible using as few resources as possible. That was one of the major contributing factors to the Warcraft 3 Reforged disaster, if sources are accurate, and I imagine resource restrictions for any of Blizzard's games would result in a subpar product. If Microsoft can turn the tables there, we could see some more resources, less hands-on interference, and less oversight in general to let the devs do what they need to do in a time frame that produces a good product. A shift from short-term profit chasing, which I do believe is or was the main problem for Activision and Blizzard, and hopefully a swap to focus on long-term commitment and quality. Basically, I'm hoping for the opposite of Activision here, which might be too much to ask for, but we do have some interesting case studies to look at. In March of 2021, Microsoft finalized their acquisition of ZeniMax. That also includes studios like Bethesda and ZeniMax Online Studios. That means that Microsoft also owns the Elder Scrolls Online game. So we have another MMO that was in the same position as World of Warcraft is potentially going to be in, making it a fantastic point of comparison. They obviously haven't been under Microsoft for very long, in less than a year at this point, but I have only heard good things about Elder Scrolls Online recently. Their content pace seems to be steady. They released their latest expansion last June, and if nothing else, it's not crashed and burned yet, so that's good to see. Minecraft was in the same position as well way back in 2014. Microsoft purchased the owner of Minecraft, and that definitely hasn't been a bad thing. Minecraft has grown into a beast all its own with a bunch of different updates that have been well received. It looks like Microsoft buying something isn't an immediate death sentence, which leaves some space for hope moving forward. There's another very interesting change that this purchase could lead into though. Microsoft has been very keen to push its Xbox Game Pass and its PC Game Pass. If you don't know what this is, it's kind of like Netflix but for games. You pay a monthly subscription and you have access to the entire library. It's an interesting product, not something I'm particularly keen on right now, but the intrinsic value of this kind of service lies within the games you get access to. The more games or IPs that Microsoft owns, the more they can cram into the Game Pass services. After acquiring the enormous library of Activision Blizzard, they could add so many games into the service that it becomes ridiculously cost effective. Can you imagine having access to every game under Activision's umbrella and every new game that comes out of any of those studios with a relatively cheap monthly subscription? Add in every Blizzard game on top of that, past and present, and it could become one of the cheapest sources of fantastic gaming experiences. Microsoft actually mentioned Game Pass specifically in their announcement. Upon close, we will offer as many Activision Blizzard games as we can within Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass, both new titles and games from Activision Blizzard's incredible catalog. We also announced today that Game Pass now has more than 25 million subscribers. As always, we look forward to continuing to add more value and more great games to Game Pass. 25 million is actually an insane number, and that's only going to grow with all these new games they could add. So we don't even need to guess at this point. Game Pass is going to get a lot bigger very quickly. World of Warcraft is a bit different though. It already has a subscription fee, so how would that work? Well, what if they either introduced the WoW sub into Game Pass or had a deal for a cheaper overall subscription if you picked up both? That would also add value to your WoW sub, or it could open the doors to a cheaper or potentially even free or fully included WoW sub for players who already use the Game Pass service. One of the largest barriers for entry for WoW is the sub fee. If you suddenly have that included in a service you're already paying for, the chances of you jumping into Azeroth and trying out Warcraft for the first time are pretty high. That could introduce so many new players into the world that maybe would have ignored the game otherwise, and MMOs thrive when they get new blood. If we can't bring new players into WoW, the game is only going to dwindle. This could be one of the largest influxes of new players possible for the game, and it could only happen with the Microsoft purchase. So there are a lot of things that could change, for the better, for the worse, and especially when you look just at Blizzard. But we're going to have to wait a bit and see how this all pans out, because the purchase could take until June 2023 to finalize. So we have another year of the same old, including Bobby Kotick as CEO. With the purchase in the wings, maybe Activision won't be as greedy this next year, and apparently Bobby is not expected to stay CEO past the acquisition, so he will likely be gone next year as well. Personally, I'm pretty hopeful and tentatively excited. Microsoft seems to have moved from a company trying to make games or take over studios to make games and more towards the money side of things, the publisher side rather than the developer side. That means they might not interfere too much with the studios themselves, but instead just offer up the resources those studios need to create the best work they can and obviously produce a return on the investment. That's my hope, because I still think there's a lot of great talent at Blizzard. They just need a helping hand. More resources could bring in more talent, different minds, let that talent work how it needs to, and we could see some great games as a result. It also seems like I'm not the only hopeful one. I don't know a lot about stocks, but I know that stocks going up quickly generally means people are excited or think something good is happening, right? Something you can back, something you can literally put your money behind. And, well, Activision stock is definitely up. That is a crazy rebound. I think there's a general sense of unease, but also excitement about this news that it could lead to really good things. And at the end of the day, can Microsoft pulling the strings really be that much worse than Activision of late? Changing things up could be worse. We could be put in a worse position for sure, but there's also the possibility for it being a hell of a lot better. And when you're as low as what Activision Blizzard is right now, there's a lot more potential to go up than there is to go down. So with what we've seen recently, I will take uncertain changes over a continuation of the past few years, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. What do you think of this massive purchase, and do you think this is a good thing, a bad thing? Do you think we'll see better games as a result, or does more have to change in the studio itself, do you think? What do you think about all of this? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to everyone who subscribed on Twitch. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I'll see you next time.